Cheers, I do buckaroos, and how the heck are you? I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer. I was going to do a nightcap with you. I did work a little bit late this evening, and I kind of debated whether I should come on a Friday, but I almost always get a Friday video in, so I thought I'd just do one, even if it was a quick one. Deciding what to have for a nightcap, and I just decided to go with some whiskey neat. And I found my Restless Spirits glass. I thought, well, let's have some of that. And I want to finish up one that I've had for a little while. Yeah, I've had this one for quite a while, a couple years anyway. Anyway, just finishing up the Gullytown double barrel aged. I picked up some different bottles from a Restless when I was there a few weeks ago, and I've been drinking on this one. There was one of them I have. There's two versions of the single malt. One of them I've opened. This one, obviously, I've opened and had a little bit out of. The other one I haven't opened at all. But I decided I better just finish this one up. There's still a little bit left in the bottle, but I poured a nice 3 ounce pour in my Restless Spirits glass. It's 92 proof, Gullytown. It's American single malt whiskey. It's double barrel aged. Again, it's at 92 proof, I believe. There it says. And sláinte. Anyways, oh, I forgot to fix something here just in case. Sometimes I don't know, keep having issues with the privacy. Yep, I keep fixing it and it keeps going back to private. There we go. And now people can see me. Now you can see me, man. I am Don the Whiskey Whisperer. Yeah. So I worked my second job today at Banter Brewing, and I worked late. I don't typically close Friday, but there's somebody out this week, so I went ahead. But it's been an interesting week for me because I went back to my regular gig. So Thursday, I worked my regular gig during the day. I just worked there Monday through Thursday, so I worked my regular gig during the day. But then I had to go to and I worked the brewery. So working both jobs, that was. Hey, Jason, how are you, man? I'm going to post your comments. How are you doing? As always, hey, if you've got something to drink, we can talk about it. Tell me what you're drinking. If anybody wants to be part of the video, let me know, and I'll send you the link, typically via Messenger. But Jason, if you're drinking this evening, let me know what you're having. This is my first alcohol today. I never drink when I'm on shift. So yeah, believe it or not, I work at the brewery. I didn't drink anything there. And I was debating when I got home because I was a little sore whether I should just have a muscle relaxer and go to bed or have a couple ounces of whiskey and go to bed. And I opted for the whiskey. Last night I opted for the muscle relaxer, but today it's let's have a little whiskey. But I think sometimes the ritual of whiskey helps too. And what I mean by that is, the pour, the nose. Sometimes I do this for 10, 15 minutes before I even take a drink. Well, there are even times I've waited 30, 45 minutes before I take a drink at certain times, just because it's everything that helps. Having a Maker's Mark as my nightcap, also feeling something a little stronger. Knob Creek single barrel, very nice. Yeah, so this one's at 92. Mm. Feels like you get. I love American single malt whiskey. That's my new thing at the moment. Anytime I can find an American single malt, I've noticed a lot of the smaller distillers are starting to make one. Yeah, I kind of agree with you, Jason. Sometimes I just like to sit in. There are times I just pick it up, do the sit down, pick it up in 5 minutes, do this, sit it back down again. Although I was asked one time at a bar when I was doing that, is, are you ever going to drink down at some point? I mean, are you renting these stools out by the hour? Well, I don't mess with your rituals. Don't mess with mine. I paid for the damn drink. If I want to sit here and just enjoy it, let me do it. You charging me by the hour for this bar stool? Anyways, how are you going to drink? Yeah, at some point. You in a fucking hurry? Anyway, I digress. Yeah, I am enjoying the distillers that do an American single malt. I try to buy one from every distiller that has one that I can find. Whenever I go somewhere. And the Restless spirits, oh, this stuff is just insane. I picked up one also from Union Horse out of Lenexa, Kansas, close to that Kansas City area, called Rivalist, and that thing is just insanely good too. What I find interesting about the American single malt whiskeys that I've had is that they're all extremely different, just very different animals. And if you had to put them in a category, most of what I had are probably closer to an Irish single malt than a Scotch single malt. However, they are an entity unto themselves. Get a little brown sugar sweetness up front with this thing. Again, you may feel some fruit notes. That's really up to you. I feel like I'm picking up some stone fruit, a little apricot, maybe a little overripe plum as well. Um, Possibly some dark cherry too. Nice spicy oaky finish. Ah, it's very good, man. Yeah, I do feel like a cocktail, right? I think it'll work. Just want to just some whiskey neat. Just want to relax, pour a couple ounces. Uh, but yeah, I went back to work for my regular job this week, and trying to balance both jobs. It's going to take me a little bit to get the strength back in the knee because I was in quite a bit of pain last night. Funny thing is when I got off work last night, I didn't hurt all that bad, or didn't feel like I did. And then when I got home, and if I would have taken a muscle relaxer the second I got home, I think I'd have probably been okay, but I didn't. And when I sat down, about 30 minutes later, everything started to hurt. Everything started to tighten up. Then I took a muscle relaxer, tried to go to bed, and then as soon as I lay down, everything really hurt. Just felt like everything was just exaggerated. My feet hurt, my legs hurt, my knees hurt. Everything just hurt. I was struggling getting out last night. But then we'll try something different tonight. We'll try to relax, have a couple ounces of whiskey right when I got home, and we'll see if that helps. So again, I didn't don't hurt right away. It's usually after I sit for a few minutes and everything starts to stiffen up, and then the pain starts setting in. Uh, I did visit Restless Spirits a couple of weeks ago, or 2 or 3 weeks ago, when we were in the Kansas City area. It was a very nice experience. I had one cocktail there, about a way too much stuff. I spent too much money there. I kind of got carried away because I was just enjoying myself. I'd never been there before, so I was really excited about the place. They were very good. I had a Manhattan, had a smoked Manhattan. That was delicious. It really was, man. They used mesquite. Oh man, that was tasty. That was some tasty. Oh, one tasty Manhattan, man. Almost as good as what I made. It was good, man. But their whiskey is just insanely good. So they've kind of got a bit of an Irish thing because they've made an Irish whiskey. How can it be an Irish whiskey, Tom? It has to be made in Ireland. Yes, that's what they do. So they have their whiskey that they make there, bring it back here and sell it. Sons of Erin is very good. They did have a 15-year-old, but they were out of it. That was gone. So I was bummed that I couldn't buy that because I really wanted to buy that 15, but it was no longer there. But they had a couple different again. They had a couple different single malts. So I did buy two of the American single malt. I bought a couple other things from them though too. I picked up their vodka and their gin. Their gin is just crazy good as well. And then I also picked up the poutine. Feel like I had to pick up some poutine because you don't see a lot of folks making that anymore. Or a lot of American, I guess maybe it's not distributed a lot anymore. Maybe that's a better way to say it. They're only sold in small bottles. It's 120 proof, and it is absolutely delicious, man. about two bottles because they were just in the 375 bottles. Uh, oh, let me post your comment. Jason didn't see it there. About a month ago, I was at this bar in Lake Tahoe, and they allowed you to customize an old-fashioned bitters, garnish, whiskey, etc. That's a brilliant concept. I like that. Kind of like a Bloody Mary bar, right? Like an old-fashioned bar instead of a Bloody Mary bar. I get it. That makes sense. Don't remember what I was talking about. I lost my train of thought, man. That one went off the rails. God, what was I talking about? Talking about restless spirits. Gosh, I lost it. Anyway, I lost it, man. It's gone. Uh, but they were nice. They made a nice cocktail, so I did feel like, oh, let's talk about the poutine. There we go. About two of the small bottles. I got back around to about two of the small bottles. I'm probably about half through one of them, and I've been going back and forth on the second one. So part of me, so it is 100% malted barley. So I mean, I'm drinking the first one as is, but part of me is curious if I tried to age that the other one, because I can get some oak chips from my home brew shop, right? So try to age it on some oak chips just to see, because I mean, again, it's 100% malted barley. So if I were to put that on some chips, it's going to age faster than in a barrel, and I'm curious what that would do. But then again, like I said, it's so perfect as is. But again, it's 120 proof, 100% malted barley. So I'm curious what would happen if I aged it, and how long it would. If I put it directly on some oak chips, it's going to age rather quickly. Uh, One thing I love about, of course, there's a lot of things I love about working at Banter, but one thing I love is they allow us to play. They've got they allow us to pick our own playlist. So the funny thing is, all of us bartenders up there have different musical tastes. So you're going to get something different no matter who you catch up there. And I have such a eclectic taste in music that, I mean, you could get anything from cool jazz to 80s metal from me. I'm not digging today's metal. I'm not even going there. But yeah, it just kind of depends. I mean, today I at one of my regulars. We're of a similar generation, let's just say. So I tend to play some 80s metal or rock, hard rock when he's in there. And then later in the evening, when that kind of filtered out, I started playing some. You know, I had another mix I played. It has a lot of Ray Wiley Hubbard and sort of some I don't know, maybe some outlaw country or all country. I'm not sure how you describe Lucero, but a lot of Lucero, some Ray Wiley Hubbard, that and similar artists. But there's a couple of songs that have just been in my head I can't get out of. There's two from Lucero, One Last FU and Make It If We Make It. Have really been running around my head, and the Ray Wiley Hubbard song "Naturally Wild." That song is just brilliant. But I got to always have those songs playing in my head. Right now, it's "Making If We Make It" is running through my noggin. It's "Making If We Make It," Savannah if we drown. Great tune. I love the American single malts. Again, because it's not bourbon. It's not just a generic American whiskey. It has a label. It's an American single malt whiskey. I love that category, and I love that it's kind of wide open. I also love that, again. What I've had from the various distillers I've had it from, they're all completely different. I never had one to say, "Oh, that tastes like," no, they're all different. So if you're gonna ask me which one I like better, the Rivalist or the single malt that I've had from Restless, the truth is I couldn't tell you. The Union Horse Rivalist is incredible, but so is this one and the other one that I showed you. From Restless Spirits, I can't really compare them because even though it's the same category, I suppose they feel like completely different whiskeys. Uh, that stuff is really good. Yeah. Yeah, but I actually I opened up too many of them because we were out when we were out there when I bought them. I wanted to taste it, so I opened up a few of them there. When we got home, I said, okay, I got these I'm not going to open. So I've got the other Gully Town that I want to try it. That I desperately want to taste, but I'm trying to hold on and not open it at least until I want to get closer to the holidays. I want to get close to Thanksgiving because I usually open up one new product around Thanksgiving. You sometimes a day or two before, as we're prepping for Thanksgiving, I open up a new one. Sometimes on Thanksgiving, I open up something else. And of course, you got Black Friday going on, and I always want to save something to open up around Christmas, and then I get a New Year's. So, but I've got so many open right now. I'm just trying to finish up some of the older stuff before I open up some of the new stuff. But again, I'm like a kid with a new toy. Every time I buy something new, I want to open it right now. So I'm trying to put a few aside where I don't open them. Oh, let me show you this one here. This is one I was talking about, the Union Horse Rivals. I've got I'm not quite half in there. Show you there, you can see better. This stuff I really love as well. And again, you could ask me which one I like better, and I honestly couldn't tell you because I like them both for different reasons. Again, even though it's the same category, they feel like completely different whiskeys. I do love both the distilleries though. The Union Horse and Restless are doing some amazing products. They really are. They're just knocking it out the park, baby. Oh, I like that initial sweetness you get up front with this particular whiskey. It's just a little bit sweet, but not overly so. And then again, I get towards the middles where I pick up those fruit notes that I alluded to earlier. A nice oaky, spicy finish if you want me to put a finer point on the spices. Kind of a mix of baking spice. I get a little allspice, a little cinnamon, a little picking up a little ginger though as well. You might even find some nutmeg. It really depends on your your taster. How attuned you are to spice notes. If you don't eat certain spices, you're never going to taste them. But I use a lot of spices, herbs and spices when I cook, so I tend to really kind of feel out a lot of different spice notes. And I don't typically pick out as many fruit notes as others do because, again, you're not going to taste what you don't know. Oh, gosh, that's absolutely delicious. And that 3 ounces went down quick. Oh, that was good, man. That's tasty, man. That was good, man. That's just good. I don't care who you are. That's good. Anyway, so I'm a little punchy. Again, this was my first alcohol of the day, but I am rather exhausted. Been a long week for me. As like I said, I started back to my regular job this week, so that's a little taxing, a little more taxing on the body than working at Banter. So I'm trying to get used to that again. And then with the new knees, uh, where I work, we're in a new building. So the good news is I don't have as many steps to deal with as before. So that's the load in and load out is a lot easier. But I am able to get up steps a lot better. Goodness. Anyways, wow, sorry about that. Uh, but there's about 4 steps leading up to the door, and you kind of retrain yourself how to walk, but you also got to retrain your mind a little bit. You have to trust that the new knee is going to work because in my case, I've been walking with a limp for 5 years, so I know the knee is bad, so I walked a specific way. But now you have to learn to trust it. So I was able to walk up the steps. Uh, I know inside I don't need to go upstairs often, but there's a full about a flight and a half going up to the next level. And just out of curiosity, I wanted to see if I could do it, and I was able to walk up the flight of stairs without using the handrail. I kept my hands closed because my balance isn't always great, but the knee was fine. It was able to do it because before I would have to hold that handrail and pull myself up every step. But then going down, I'd have to hold the handrail and only walk a half a step at a time. And now I can walk down easy. It's just amazing. I'm gonna have one more with you before I call it an evening, since I know I'm near the end of this whiskey. I'm gonna finish it up with you. Put that there so you can see the bottle. Restless Spirits out of Lenexa, Kansas. I cannot recommend this place highly enough. I mean, they were just amazing. The customer service there was impeccable. The bartender was amazing. I mean, everybody answered questions. I mean, they were again. I just can't say enough good things about the place. They were just amazing folks in there. If you're ever passing through Lenexa, Kansas, if you're near Kansas City or close, please stop in at Restless Spirits. You won't be disappointed. They make a great cocktail, but you can also find some of the best spirits you've ever had from their whiskeys to again their gin, their vodka. All this stuff is just top notch. The poachine, oh my lord, that stuff is insane. Yeah, I had to make myself stop drinking the poachine because I'm more than halfway through the first bottle because it was just so good. But yeah, I keep running that argument in my mind. Okay, it's good like this. You think you should leave it like this? And then part of me thinks, yeah, but it's 100% malted bar. Put it on some oak chips. You're going to have one amazing whiskey. I mean, you probably won't have to put it on oak chips very long because it's 100% malted barley. Oh, mercy. So I am curious. I really am. I think the curiosity in me is going to overtake the purist in me and want to take that second bottle and age it, which is originally why I bought the second bottle. But once I tasted the first bottle, once I opened one and had a drink, oh god, this stuff is so perfect as is. Do I really want to change it? But I am curious because again, 100% malted bar. I mean, I feel like I have to take a chance on it. And I could buy a small barrel, but again, I've only got a 375, so I don't think I take much of it. But if I just age it on some oak chips, it'll take that oak a lot faster, and it won't need much aging. Ah, ah, that's good. So I do work tomorrow at Banter, but I'll be off about to 5:30, so I'll probably come back and do my typical. Well, hopefully anyway. Be able to do my typical 7 o'clock. Saturdays. I usually do a 7 and a 9. But again, the times may vary. Kind of depends on get home. Maybe need something to eat, relax a little bit. Because Fridays I usually do a 7. That's why I wanted to come on do a late nightcap video with you. Mm. Yeah, that stuff was good. My wife and I are both of Irish ancestry, so I love distilleries that have that theme, right? So even though this is an American single malt whiskey, it's almost Irish whiskey in spirit, right? Because they do their Irish whiskey, their Sons of Erin, and they've got the Stonebreaker, which is a sort of a meld of American whiskey and Irish whiskey, which is great as well. And I didn't buy those, and not that I didn't like them, but again I was already going over budget. I was already going way over budget, man. But But I did want to. They had two different versions of a single malt, so I did pick up those. One aged 4 years, one aged 6 years. The basic difference was the 6 year old, this one here, was aged much like you would an Irish whiskey in once used bourbon barrels, whereas the 4 year old American single malt was aged in new charred barrels, much like you would age a bourbon. So I'm curious. I really want to taste that one bad, but I'm making myself not open it here. Don't do it, Don. Don't do it. So I've decided, okay, I've got to clear some stuff out of here. I'm gonna finish up some stuff I've got open before before I pop that one. So, like I said, I'm hoping. I don't know if I'm gonna make it, but I'm hoping to hold off till about uh, around you know Thanksgiving before I open a new one, and then from there I'll wait till Christmas. Around Christmas, I say around Christmas, right about the time I start prepping for stuff, and then I like to open one new bottle on New Year's as well. So, anyways, lunch to everybody listening. Anybody out there? Is anybody home, man? Anyway, I digress. I know it's late. I should be in bed too, but I don't have to go into work tomorrow till 12:30, so I can sleep in a little bit. And tomorrow's only a 5 hour shift, so I can take it easy. But again, I just wanted to. Sometimes it helps to relax to have a little whiskey, and then just even though I'm not really talking to you personally, I'm getting it out, getting some stuff out, man. Anyways, I digress. I am Tom, the Whiskey Whisperer. Oh man, this stuff is just gorgeous. Yeah, the one difference I thought of the rival is as compared to the other Gullytown here, is it wasn't quite as sweet. It's a little bit different. That's why I can't really tell you which one I like more because I like them both for different reasons. So even though they're the same category, they feel like completely different whiskeys. And even the same the Gully Town, that Gully Town I'm finishing up, the older one. This is their new version, the single malt that I've had. I mean, this tastes nothing like that. So I mean, I thought, well, I just finished this one up this evening. What's I didn't see your comment come up until just now, Jason. I apologize. Not let me post it for some reason. I don't know why. There we go. What's your favorite preferred proof for whiskey 80 or single barrel? You know what? I'll be honest with you, Jason. I do like a higher proof. If I'm making a cocktail, I like a minimum. If I'm making an old fashioned or making an old fashioned or a Manhattan, I like a minimum of 90, to be honest with you, because I think an 80 waters down the drink too much. And in all honesty, in most cases, I do love a cast strength. I really do. But yeah, I do prefer 90 and above. It's a lot of 80 proof whiskeys just feel too watery to me. I do like 90 and above. So this one here, I told you is at 92. The rivalist, I don't remember exactly. It's at 96. So that's a good range. Somewhere between 90 and 100 is a nice range. Um, but yeah, I do like a minimum of 90. Oh man, that was good. Restless Spirits. And buy a glass. I did buy a glass at Union Horse. They don't have a bar area per se there. Uh, but I didn't. I did buy some whiskey there, but I didn't think to ask if they had a glass. I don't have a Union Horse glass, unfortunately. I'm bummed about that. I am. They do they do these socials once a month, and I wish I'd have researched it a little bit more, and I could have planned my vacation around that and gone the week they had that social. But nevertheless, maybe not. Well, no, I do remember looking at the social actually was the week before we went. There was no way we could have. We didn't. I didn't have all my ducks in a row the week before. There's no way we could have done it. But I may try to set it up that way next time if we get back out there. But it had been 4 years since we've been to Kansas City before this trip, so maybe 4 more years before we get out there again. So, but there's a lot of things we did miss. I wouldn't mind getting back out there again. I did like where we stayed though. Uh, Man, that's a delicious whiskey. The American single malt. Oh yeah, we do everything better, don't we? Uh, yeah, don't listen to those Scotch drinkers. They're pretentious. They think they're better only because they just don't know any better. I'm a working class guy. What do I know about Scotch? Yeah, I don't dislike Scotch to be honest with you. I kind of make fun of people because you have the Scotch drinkers that are so pretentious they don't think anything else matters. But they won't try anything like this or this because, quite frankly, I'm afraid that I think they're afraid that they'll find out they're wrong and they don't want to be wrong. But Americans, man, American distillers are doing the best stuff on the planet, in my opinion. Especially the small, I don't know, micro distiller is the right word, but the small American craft distiller, Restless, Union Horse. I mean, these guys are making some just amazing products. So there you go. Oh man, when I visited Restless, I probably could have stayed there forever. But I was already spending too much money. It was just a great atmosphere, right? It was just a great little cocktail bar atmosphere. Everybody was so friendly. Again, the bartender, the other folks there. I mean, everybody was answering questions, and it was just amazing. They were just so friendly in there, and that made me want to buy more product. That's kind of why I spent too much because they were just so nice, man. It was kind of like a perfect storm, right? Everybody was just so friendly. The products were so good. The cocktail they served me was just, oh my lord, on point. It was delicious, man. Anyways, I digress. I am Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, whiskey evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor wisdom man. All around good guy. Hey, thanks for tuning in, folks. I appreciate all of you.